Well, there was a warm handshake between the two coaches, between Bilic and Capello, before the national anthems. Just to let you know then, no goals at Hampden at the moment, none at Windsor Park 2. Norway won up on Macedonia in Scotland's group, goalless at the Millennium Stadium, and Belarus 0, Ukraine 0, means that England this evening now need just 1 point to ensure qualification for the World Cup next year. But, Mike Ingham, as has been pointed out to me, they only needed a point against Croatia last time to reach Euro 2008.
And the other thing, Mark, is that at this moment they don't know that, I don't think that the players are aware of what's happened. As far as they're concerned, tonight really is a night to perhaps exercise a few ghosts from 2 years ago, but the most important thing of all is to get what is required to qualify with 2 games in hand for the World Cup, and that would be England's best achievement in the modern era to be able to do that. Now, the England lineup shows one change from the friendly match with Slovenia, and that is Lennon, who did well in the second half, replacing Wright Phillips, who's not even amongst the substitutes. The England team is Green, Johnson, Terry, Upson and Ashley Cole, and Lampard and Barry, the 2 sitting players really in front of the back 4. Lennon, Rooney, Gerrard and Heskey. Heskey still keeping Jermaine Defoe out of the starting lineup. Now, the Croatian lineup, 2 changes from their game at the weekend when they beat Belarus, and they are Mandzukic coming in for Rakitic, who got the goal against Belarus. We're going to go to Roddy for Forsyth, I think. Roddy.
Yes, indeed, and David Marshall forced into another fine save. He's certainly earning his corn this evening. Wesley Sneijder again breaking into the hole just in front of the Scottish defence, turning David Weir, getting his shot in, but Marshall blocked, Hutton cleared. It's end to end, and it's going to be so important who gets the first goal, because there will be goals tonight, you fancy.
What a night we have for you on 5 Live, all around Europe. The other Croatian change, by the way, sees Pokrivac coming in for Chorluka, who's suspended, but it's Cernar who goes back out of midfield to play at right back. Well, Croatia in this first half played from left to right. That's exactly the way they kicked off here 2 years ago, when, remember, Kranjčar stunned Carson. Croatia do have in their starting lineup 2 of the players who scored goals, the first half goals that night, Kranjčar and Olic, and on the bench is Petric, just as he was in November when he came on to score that decisive goal. England are all in white. Great support for Croatia. Final thought before we start from Chris Waddle.
Well, as I said earlier, I hope England come out of the blocks quick, get this team under a lot of pressure, and set pieces are such a big key part of English game, and I think get them pushed back, get a few set pieces, get the crowd going, and I can see England win.
The referee is relatively inexperienced at this level. He's a Spaniard, Alberto Undiano. Norway 2, Macedonia 0. John Arnarise, the former Liverpool player, has scored. So Norway doing what they have to do, and Slovenia 1, Poland 0 is the latest score in Northern Ireland's group. So even more important now that Scotland get the victory, or get something against Holland, with Norway leading Macedonia 2-0. We have a delay here before the start. England all in white. It's a completely different atmosphere from the one we had here on Saturday in the friendly match against Slovenia. Fabio Capello is looking quite calm and composed. The players want to get on with it. Still we wait for this big showdown here. Once upon a time it used to be England-Poland in these matches. Now it's England-Croatia, and now we go to Scotland again, and Roddy Forsyth.
And Scotland so close there just before the half-hour mark. Kenny Miller wriggling inside, and Matheson, and he turned the centre-back, shot hard over the goalkeeper Baum, and he was denied by the crossbar. So Scotland coming within an inch of drawing the first blood here, still scoreless in the half-hour.
Thank you, Roddy. And finally, we are underway here at Wembley on a dry night this time. Ashley Cole receives near side the England left. England against Croatia on 5 Live. It's Ashley Cole again, looking for Heskey, and it'll be volleyed away by Croatia at the back. The ball is still inside their half. Now the England captain John Terry gets his first touch, and it's back to Robert Green in goal. Green feeding Johnson, who needs to start well here tonight. No problems about him going forward, but Croatia will be aware of his vulnerability potentially defensively. Steven Gerrard, England trying to get a flow going here early on. Upson's ball, well controlled by Rooney. In comes the challenge, and let's go to Darren Fletcher in Belfast.
Terrible news for Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 1. Vladimir Weiss of Manchester City with a wriggling run down the right-hand side, crossed into the middle, and from no more than a yard, Sestak, the Slovakian centre-forward, had a tap-in. It's the worst possible start for Northern Ireland. It's Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 1.
England took the free kick, and they played a great ball to Lennon over on the far side, but he couldn't get forward. England had to settle for a throw taken by Johnson. England trying to set an early tempo. Croatia yet to really get into their stride, and the ball is going to fall out of play over on the far side.
I think England started very well. They've got Pranjic, who we were expecting to play left backs, playing left wing up against Glenn Johnson. They've put Pokrovac at their left back, and Manzuzip is Cranky Oz playing in the middle. So there's a lot of changes. What we thought, that's probably what Bilic thinks he can affect this game. But at the minute they're playing very much similar to the start of the team. Slovenia we saw here, two banks of four, the two strikers are coming back to the halfway lane, and they're looking to play on the counter-attack.
And immediately they seem to be loading that left-hand side against Glenn Johnson.
Well, that's obviously I think the weak link, what he saw in the weekend's game when he had it scouted. There's no doubt about that.
There was some talk yesterday when Croatia were training that Pranjic could play on the left and that Calais could play at left back. So it's Pokrovac playing at left back tonight, and Pranjic playing on the left-hand side of Croatia's midfield. England struggling to clear here until Gareth Barry is fouled, and England have a free kick. And England trying to get passing and moving early on here. Gerrard stands over the ball, and then in the end leaves it for Matthew Upson. So we're just underway here at Wembley, 2.5 minutes gone. No chances yet for either side. Hungary 0, Portugal 1 is the latest score, and Germany 1, Azerbaijan 0, and Michael Ballack penalty. Big night for Portugal. They really have to win that game, you think, against Hungary. They're leading 1-0. England now following that free kick, still building short of the halfway line. Fabio Capello standing down there in the technical area alongside Slaven Bilic. England far side the right. Johnson plays the ball infield. Heskey slipped and he doesn't control it. In steps the big Simunic at the back, but Croatia are caught in possession. Lampard plays it forward. Good ball for Lampard. Gerrard's going in there. Half-heartedly appeal for handball. It's cleared to still he's complaining. The ball is cleared by Croatia for an England throw-in. And Croatia uncertain at the back there, dealing with Steven Gerrard. It was a lovely ball played through to him by Lampard. Following the throw-in, England still on the ball. Johnson's moving forward with menace. Plays a 1-2 with Gerrard and then tumbles over his own legs in the penalty area. Croatia again struggling to clear. Kranjčar's there. They're desperate to get this one away, and they haven't. They've been closed down. Lennon's going forward. In comes Simunic to check him, and it's an England throw-in.
Well, that's exactly, mate, what I said. England, I think that's how they've started. Brilliant. They've really pushed them in. They're winning all the challenges, 50-50s. Yeah, there was a slight claim for a penalty, but I think we're being very harsh, we've got to say, if you give it the referee.
England taking the game to Croatia, but we'll have to be careful of the counter-attack. Not sure we've mentioned either Eduardo or Olic yet in the commentary. They're the two players downfield looking to try and break for Croatia, and they're both terrific strikers. Clearance by Runje in the Croatia goal. Headed in field by Mandzukic, and Olic for the first time now. Upson half gets it away. Ball is played forward. Terry's waiting for her on the edge of the area. And Johnson clears. Back again to Roddy Forsyth at Hampden.
Well, the Dutch were caught by a long ball from Whittaker that caught them pushing out from defence. Stephen Naismith side-footed the ball past the goalkeeper. Flag was up for offside. The replays show he was on. So Scotland deprived because of an early call from the linesman, and it's still goalless.
Reminding you that Norway are 2-0 up in that group against Macedonia. Northern Ireland are a goal behind in their game. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 1. Here, England try the ball into the Croatia half. It doesn't work for them, though. Croatia trying to settle down here, and now Rooney has committed a foul and pushed over Cernar. This really dangerous player when he's playing on the right-hand side of midfield. What will he be like tonight, we wonder, at right back? The Shakhtar Donetsk player Cernar, the captain of Croatia. Ball is back with Rooney. Quite a few heavyweight names now missing from this Croatia team, notably the Kovac brothers, of course, Modric and Chorluka. Croatia, though, with the chance to break now. looking to cross the halfway line with Pranic. Lovely ball onto Eduardo, who swishes it down the left-hand side to Olic. Olic now taking on Upson over on the Croatian left-hand side. England trying to deny him the space. Olic against Upson, and it's a goal kick, and the West Ham defender did his job.
Well, England so far to me have hustled very well. They've just got to watch sometimes when they go charging. Without Rooney went charging people down there, you need support. When you see Rooney go, that's a trigger for everybody to follow him. A lot of Church didn't here, and then get caught out that midfield.
Barry, Lampard and Gerrard, the three players who started in the 3-2 defeat here 2 years ago. It's a good ball now to find Lennon, and it's a lovely first touch from the Spurs man. Lennon dangerously into the penalty area. Still Lennon goes down! Must be a penalty! And it is! It's a penalty to England. Lennon in full flow was taken. Up in the air he went, and down to the turf he went. And Frank Lampard now can step forward to try and give England the lead here.
Yeah, Siminek, wasn't it? Clumsy challenge. Lennon coming in say, not going anywhere, just running across the box. Clear penalty. It's a terrible challenge. And the referee got that spot on.
Well, Croatia are complaining. Frank Lampard has taken 4 successful penalties. One of them was in the 3-2 defeat here against Croatia, but in very different circumstances tonight. An altogether different atmosphere in the stadium. Here's Lampard's chance to settle England down here and get them into a 1-0 lead. We played almost 7 minutes. What an opportunity for England. Here comes Lampard, and Lampard scores! Drives the ball firmly home and celebrates, and it's England 1, Croatia 0.
Well, what is it, 7 minutes on the clock now. Great start by England. They've started very bright. They've put them under pressure. A clumsy challenge by Siminek in the box on Lennon, but give Lampard a lot of pressure there. He ran up. Terrific penalty. 1-0 England.
Well, now we can say, although it's early in the day, that Croatia will have to at least score 2 here tonight to deny England a place in South Africa. Remember, earlier today, Belarus 0, Ukraine 0 means that England technically just have to have a draw here to qualify with 2 games to play. England 1, Croatia 0. Can Croatia respond here? England on top in the early stages. Lennon was flying, and Lennon was brought down by Siminek, and now Croatia try and respond. And it's Olic. Olic to the far side, and the left-sided player Pranic. Pranic back into midfield, and Kranjčar. Eduardo being booed inevitably as Croatia now try their luck again down the left-hand side. England don't get the challenges in. The ball still with Kranjčar. That's a very hopeful one to this near side. Ashley Cole just holds off there against Cernar, and in the end Cernar boots it away for an England try.
Well, there's a game on now. You can see already Croatia's pressed higher up the field. That was some lovely passing, 1-2 touch football by Croatia. But again, final third, no, I just don't look as if they can get behind this England back 4.
Lampard now 19 goals and 5 successive and successful penalties for him, beginning against Austria in what was a warm-up game for the Croatian nightmare here. He then got one against Croatia in that game. So England lead 1-0, back again to Roddy Forsyth at Hampden.
Well, Scotland have hit the post, and it was through young Naismith. He strode forward onto a Fletcher pass, let go of the shot. Vorm reached it, turned it onto the post. Miller tried to get the rebound. Keeper made a recovery save, but far side of the field. And it's Robin who was causing problems for the Scottish defence on the break there. But Darren Fletcher, playing the captain's part, comes back, and you can hear the applause as he wins a goal kick for Scotland. But Scotland have now hit the crossbar and the post. What a game this is now. Scotland 0, Netherlands 0.
Rooney all on his own now, outnumbered by Croatian defenders, gets across him, but Gerrard off balance heads it wide. That was another counter-attack coming in from England as Roddy was talking to us from Hampden. Remember, it's Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 1 in Belfast, which is not what the doctor ordered. And here, Chris Waddle, it's going pretty well for England.
I think England started very, very well. A great run by... I was disappointed. It was only Gerrard who followed him up the field and got in the box here. That was a great opportunity. He didn't rush the cross. He took his time. He got himself positioned. And I thought Heskey and Barry should have been in the box with Gerrard.
England still have to be mindful, though, if Croatia settle down here, that they do have the firepower to trouble them. But it's now Rooney. Oh, offside is given late. Rooney filters the ball in for Gerrard, who'd gone into the centre to make the run. But there's an altogether different application here from England than we had in the first half here, when 1 or 2, I think, were going through the motions against Slovenia on Saturday. But this really matters. And England are 1 up. Still an awful long way, though, to go in this game. And it's Cernar just inside the England half. gives the ball away. Poor play from Cerna. Croatia rattled a bit. Lennon inside the centre circle showed a bit too much about the defender, but the defender clattered him down. It was number 15 man Vukojevic, the player who's sort of taken over from Niko Kovac in this Croatian lineup, but he's a hard act to follow. We'll have a word from Graham Taylor in a moment as England take a short free kick, and it's Lampard across the field to Johnson. Johnson hasn't really had to do any meaningful defending yet. Good play from England, just passing it around neatly. Now Upson sends it on its way to Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole, just a lovely ball from him into Heskey. Heskey to Rooney. This is good play. Rooney loops it to the far side. What a great ball to Lennon as the defender can't cut it out. Lennon again invited to fly at the Croatian defenders. Crosses wayward though, and the ball is headed back to the Croatian keeper. Graham Taylor, your latest thinking?
Well, obviously it's a tremendous start for England. The penalty was dispatched with great confidence by Lampard. Lennon's running at defenders is very good, but I think it's shown in the very early days that with their injuries, etc., Croatia are nowhere near the team that they were, let's say, a year or 2 years ago. So this is a great opportunity for England now to cement their qualification with a first-class display.
Chris, we sort of expect Lampard now to put those penalties away, but that was a high-pressure situation.
It was. He did, but he stepped up. He looked very confident, didn't he? I mean, it was a great penalty, but the only thing I fear for at the minute, Mike, is can they keep this tempo up? It's very demanding to keep working the way they are at the minute, putting these under pressure, and you know, giving Croatia a bit of time on the ball, they can hurt you.
They're using Lennon really well at the moment, and now they sweep the ball to this near side of the field, and Gerrard's moving for England. Gerrard's ball onto Wayne Rooney on the edge of the area, chips it in, defenders out of position. Lennon may get there. Oh, he tucks it back. Can Gareth Barry get in first for England? Saved by the goalkeeper. Still an opportunity for Heskey and Ashley Cole, but they just couldn't quite get there in time. The goalkeeper managed to take all the sting out of it. That was a great thump from Gareth Barry, and more danger from Aaron Lennon.
Well, again, terrific. Wayne Rooney's hit two fantastic left-footed passes out to Lennon, one right across the pitch, this time just the back post. He pulled it back. I think it was intended for Gerrard, but Barry followed up well. It's a good save by the keeper. Heskey blocked him off.
12 and a half minutes gone here at Wembley on 5 Live. England 1, Croatia 0, Scotland 0, Holland 0, Northern Ireland trading 1-0 at home to Slovakia. And another important game tonight, Portugal are leading away 1-0 to Hungary. And Norway in Scotland's group are leading 2-0 against Macedonia. Earlier, Italy won Bulgaria 0 in the Republic of Ireland's group. Earlier today in this group, Belarus 0, Ukraine 0, which means that England actually only need to draw this game to book their place in the World Cup finals. They're leading 1-0. And it's an altogether more confident England from the ragbag side we saw here 2 years ago in the rain, in that final game qualifying for Euro 2008. Chasing to the far side is Heskey. He won't get there in front of all of the Croatian fans, thousands of them over on the far side. They've been enjoying their day in the centre of London today. Let's check again on Northern Ireland with Darren Fletcher.
Just had an opportunity here, Mike. Still Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 1. Stanislav Šestak with the only goal. But a well-worked free kick on the edge of the Slovakian penalty area presented a shooting chance for David Healy, and he fired it just wide from 18 yards. They've been the better team since the goal, Northern Ireland, but aren't creating enough as yet. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 1.
Thank you, Darren. England are pressing really well here all the time and denying Croatia moments to have a breather and come forward and find some space and room and some coordination. England pushing them back all the time here and working really hard, but that's the one question mark Chris Waddle has. How long can they keep the intensity of this play in here tonight as the drums accompany the game here? Fantastic atmosphere.
Well, you look at Croatia as well. They haven't got anybody from midfield who wants to run past the two strikers. Eduardo's coming very deep, his touch has been fantastic for Eduardo. Never gives the ball away, but there's nobody wanting to run that way. He's only and nobody else will go with him. So it's very easy for England at the minute to put pressure on the ball.
Again, Croatia are caught in possession in midfield. England trying to build once more from the back, and it's with Johnson on the right-hand side. Immediately it goes into Lennon. Lennon slides the ball infield to Lampard on the halfway line. England playing from right to left here in the first half, towards the end where we used to have the tunnel here at Wembley Stadium in the old days. England build with Lampard once more. Ashley Cole is calling for it. It's Barry in the centre circle. A bit of pace to Rooney, but he can still control it. Rooney started really brightly here, and Gerrard's much more up for it tonight. Ball over the top, looking for Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole in the area. The flag must have gone up over on the far side, just as Ashley Cole was wrapping his leg around it to try and shoot. So it's a free kick.
So far so good. Some of the movements, the football, the tempo they're playing at. Ashley Cole loves to go forward. That was very borderline, wasn't it? Whether it was on or off, but great vision by Gerrard. At the minute, they're just dominating the ball.
Chris Waddle with us here, Graham Taylor's with us also. We played 15 minutes of the first half, and so far it's so good for England. Cernar again near side, down the line. Croatia now with number 16 Mandzukic, but they're playing quite conservatively, and it goes again to Eduardo, who, as Chris Waddle says, has a lovely first touch. England though fighting to win it back inside the centre circle. It's with the tall, angular Siminic, and now Kranjčar, now of Tottenham, remember. Nico Kranjčar just inside the England half. Thought about a long pass, instead keeps it short. It's with the defender Križanak, and now to the far side the field. Croatia though just moving sideways at the moment. England have got everybody back waiting. Croatia's just having moments of possession here as they try and recover from going a goal behind, with no real ambition here once more. It's Siminic, the most experienced player in the Croatian side. Now he sends it long towards Olic. Terry's there heading it away, and back to Roddy Forsyth in Glasgow.
Well, we've reached the end of a compulsive half. It's Scotland 0, the Netherlands 0. Dick Kite almost putting the Dutch on the score sheet after 3 minutes. Swirling shot off the post with Marshall beaten, but Scotland replied in kind. Naismith off the post, Miller off the crossbar. It's honours even at half-time, but Scotland will feel they can win this.
Thank you, Roddy. England 1, Croatia 0. John Terry, between them, Terry and Johnson should have dealt with that, but Johnson's knocked it away for a throw-in. That's a real gift for Croatia. Level with the edge of the England area. Croatia missing Modric at the moment. Ball played in by Kranjčar. Cernar reaches for it, and here's a moment of danger for England as the cross comes. England trying to win this in the air, and then the shot is driven in over the bar by Mandzukic. And that's the most dangerous effort we've had so far from Croatia.
Well, what, 16, 17 minutes gone, mate. They've just come off the gas the last couple of minutes, England, and they've let them come up the field. They've let them pass the ball. It was a good cross in by Cernar, a little deflection, but give him straight the lad credit. He turned on it well, but over the bar.
So there's a warning. There's a wake-up call for Capello's England. Serbia 1, France 0 is another terrible situation for France, trailing to the group leader Serbia, but now Gerrard finds Lennon, and here comes Lennon once more. Early ball in this time by Lennon. Gerrard with a header. 2-0 to England. Wonderful delivery from Lennon. Gerrard was waiting for it. Pounces. No way the Croatian keeper could get that. England 2, Croatia 0, and is that enough already for South Africa?
Well, how easy is that? A lovely link-up play by Rooney and Gerrard, who ran inside Rooney, who just flicked him in. Simple ball out to Lennon. 2 queuing up. This time he didn't want to go to the byline. He's just put a cross in. Gerrard hasn't admitted his pass. He's got in the far post, and it's a great header back across the keeper. Very simple, unmarked. 2-0, and you've got to say England deserve it. They've been all over Croatia. It was just the ball at the far post. Nobody's picking Gerrard up. He's just ghosted in. Simple goal.
And the second goal, you would think, the really big one here tonight, to put some real daylight between England and Croatia, because that happened only just seconds after Croatia had their most dangerous efforts so far. So, well, Croatia led here 2-0 2 years ago. England are leading by 2-0. And the goals tonight so far have come from the midfield players, Lampard and Gerrard, but Aaron Lennon has been involved in both of them.
Well, he has. He's lively. He's got a lot of confidence a lot at the minute. We know he's got a few tricks and a bit of pace, but you know, tonight you've got to say already his game's very much together. His delivery, he didn't want to take anybody on there. He's just put a nice easy go across it in the far post, and it's got to go.
Ball dinked forward, looking for the run, but it won't come in this time from Mandzukic, one of the rare players in this Croatian squad who actually plays in Croatia. We're hearing that Norway lead Macedonia by 2-0. That's in Scotland's group. Scotland, remember, 0-0 with Holland at half-time. So Norway doing what is required of them. Scotland desperate for a second-half winner. It's a goal kick here for Robert Green, who hasn't really had to make any saves yet in the England goal. Plenty for Bilic to think about here. They're missing their star men. England have it through Rooney. Rooney finds Gerrard wide near side. Gerrard with a lovely ball right across the field finds Johnson. Lennon's pleading for it. This time it goes into Heskey. Heskey holding off the defenders. Back to the far side. Johnson will just about keep it in. Johnson's flying now for England until he wins the throw-in. But it's all England here, and they deserve to lead 2-0.
Well, whatever we talked about before the game, haven't it? The nice thing is Wayne Rooney and Steven Gerrard have been allowed to express themselves what one about.
Rooney offside this time as Rooney found Lennon, but they're full of ideas, these England players at the moment, and they're living on the edge at the back. Croatia. Simovic is looking a little slow on the turn, and England really trying to take advantage here with 20 minutes gone.
Well, the tempo for me is the key, but I've got to say they just can't get near Wayne Rooney. He's running the game. Steven Gerrard's playing 20-25 yards off the touchline. You know, he's gone inside a lot. He's causing problems, but Wayne Rooney, every time he's had the ball, he's caused havoc.
And the other thing is also, it's noticeable that Heskey is the fulcrum, really. They're moving all around him. He's allowing this movement too. He's holding the ball up well for his side too, Emil Heskey. And England have got a really good movement going out there at the moment, particularly with Lennon and Rooney and Gerrard. And now Lennon chases to the far side and this time has to give it up over on that left-hand side. Let's go back again to the cricket. Pat Murphy at the Rose Bowl.
England need some wickets. Clark is on 10, White 35, needing 229 to win in 50. 87 for 2 Australia. They've got 27 overs in hand.
Thank you, Pat. The England football team at the moment very much in control of this fixture, though. England 2, Croatia 0. England looking to maintain their 100% record in the group in this their 8th game. The ball down below us on the right-hand side. It was a weak header from Cerna. Cerna again has another opportunity. They're missing the steady influence at the back of Chorluka and now Simovic. Croatia just giving it back all the time at the moment. There's been no real penetration for them at all. England looking to win it halfway inside the Croatia half. This time Lennon can't get it. It's stabbed long by Croatia. Upson's waiting for it. Controls his header neatly. Now juggling in the air is Barry. When it comes down on the ground, Cerna battles well against Rooney and Gerrard. And Croatia just looking for a lifeline, looking for something to build on here. Looking at play through to Olic, who looked to be offside but wasn't flagged offside. England stood off Olic dangerously there, gave him far too much room. In now goes Olic once more. Left-footed shot, brilliant defending, this time by John Terry. Still not clear. It's Eduardo on the edge of the penalty area. Going into the area, Eduardo. Doesn't go down. It's still now with Croatia. Opportunity. Shot is driven in. England got the body and it was Aaron Lennon there. And now England themselves on the counter-attack as Heskey tries to buy a bit of time for them. Long one from Johnson to Steven Gerrard down that right-hand side. Defender wanted to give it back to the goalkeeper, and now he does at the halfway point of the first half. So far, so very good for England. 2-0 they lead, and here's Alan Green.
Well, unless they allow their concentration to lapse, it's a dawdle. It's an absolute dawdle. Such is the difference from 2 years ago. But here's Cerna forward. In a preferred midfield role at the moment. Cerna flicks it away towards the far side, towards Pranjic. Pranjic left to the penalty area, faced by Lennon. Pranjic gets the cross in, did he? No. But did the side netting. And there's been a goal in Cardiff, Ian Bryan.
It's Wales 0, Russia 1. Arshavin had been quiet, then he suddenly sprung into life. Lovely through ball to Shemshov, and his cross shot beat Hennessy. 9 minutes left in the first half. Russia lead deservedly 1-0.
Thank you very much, Ian. Reminding you that in Belfast at Windsor Park, Slovakia lead Northern Ireland 1-0, and at half-time at Hampden, it was Scotland 0, Netherlands 0. In that group, though, Norway 2-0 up to Macedonia. England on the attack, but as Heskey's header put Rooney through, Rooney had moved just a fraction too early and he's caught offside.
Well, I think Croatia's just starting to come back into the game. I said the fear for me is they've come out the traps very well, which you want. Now you want them to control the ball and play there, dictate the pace of the game. England started break, Croatia couldn't live with them, but now they've come off the pace. This is going to be an interesting up to half-time because all of a sudden Croatia are getting decent possession.
Here's Ashley Cole running forward and forgetting to take the ball with him. It's Mandzukic into Kranjčar, back to Cerna. Kranjčar again, midway inside the England half, well tackled by Lampard. And then Kranjčar has the ball again. Croatia substantially all in blue, but with sort of red and white checks. England all in white. England 2, Croatia 0. Lampard penalty, Gerrard header. In control of the game and in control of their World Cup destiny. They only needed a draw courtesy of the draw earlier, Belarus 0, Ukraine 0. A point will do England tonight, but at the moment they're heading for all three, and comfortably heading for all three, despite the odd scare. I don't think Green's had anything to do yet.
This is the first time really Croatia, I would say last 3 or 4 minutes on. It's the first time I saw them actually string a lot of passes together. The movement's better. England have just come off the pace.
Mandzukic plays the ball, and it's flicked forward towards the right flank. That's overhit, and that rushes behind. Olic can't keep that in play. It's a goal kick to England, and Fabio Capello just issues an instruction. By the way, there was some interesting body line. I mean, I can't lip read, and I couldn't hear what was going on. But Slaven Bilic, when he was shaking Capello's hand before the game, held on to it for a while, and he was doing most of the talking. And I got the impression he was trying to explain how his remarks about England were misinterpreted, and Capello probably said in broken English, "Don't worry, son, job's already done. Thanks for the G up for the players." And Bilic must seem a bit silly at the moment. England 2, Croatia 0. Gerrard scored the second goal. Back to Terry. On to Lampard, whose penalty set England on its way. And now Johnson on the far side of the field. Johnson inside the Croatian half. Back to the skipper Terry. Johnson again. And Lampard. And this is better from England now. They're just controlling the ball. No need for the great urgency, having already scored twice. Here's Gerrard. Into Barry. Barry's first touch was poor. And it's with Eduardo. Eduardo still being booed, unfortunately. Finds Cranchar, new Tottenham player, signed actually probably to replace Modric, who of course is a significant absentee for both club and country. Now on the far side of the field, Pokovac operating in left back rather than the midfield role that we thought he was going to play. Here he is again, left-footed ball high up towards Olic and allowed to run through by Terry through to Green. Graham Taylor.
Well, I think when Bilic was referring to under Capello England losing some of their Englishness, I think that second goal proves him to be wrong. Feed the ball out to the winger, get the cross in, man comes in at the back post, heads it in. If that's not English, I don't know what is. And England are in total control of this game now. You know, it's now up to them whether they're going to dominate it for the remaining period. But certainly there's only one team in this game for me.
Here's Heskey, whose physique held off 2 challenges, and then he was fouled by Simunic, or maybe he was pulled back by the other central defender, Krasanac. It's going to be a free kick either way to England. Fair bit out though, over 35 yards. Reminding you that Portugal are a goal up away to Hungary. France losing in Serbia. They could be 2 prime casualties. Portugal and France might not make it.
I'd like to see Lampard hit this. You know, he strikes the ball very, very well. It's in his range. I know it looks a long way out from where we're standing here.
Given the run-up, I think he will hit it.
Why not?
28th minute of the game. England already 2 goals to the good. Lampard score of one of them, a penalty. Here's a free kick, at least 35 yards from goal. Frank Lampard's having a pop. Right footed, drilled in. Good save of the goalkeeper and flicked behind by the central defender for a corner.
Why not? Indeed. Great effort. And it was a comfortable height for the goalkeeper. I think he made a bit of a meal. The float flashes up next to him off the cameraman. Looked good. He could have. He's pushed it away, and it could have been a white shirt following in and tapped that in. Great effort.
Gerrard to take the corner for England. So dominant against Croatia here. It's away to our left. The Croatian fans pretty silent now in the far left-hand corner. About 7,000 of them. Gerrard's corner played in well. Goodness gracious, Terry almost met that. Was a fraction of a way from heading England into a 3-0 lead, but it's cleared by Croatia to the halfway line. Cole to Lampard. On to Terry, his Chelsea colleague, who's still up in the attack. The left-sided possession, gets the cross in. Rooney hoping for a chested pass back to the goalkeeper. It was chested away from the danger area, and England have it again inside the centre circle. Barrett to the far side, and Johnson. Johnson chips it infield. Rooney well on to Lampard. Lampard return ball to Heskey, but Heskey was pulling at the defender, and it's a free kick Croatia.
Well, Wayne Rooney's been a big problem to this Croatian team. His movement. Look, he's away chasing the fullback now, but his movement, they just can't live with him. He comes off players, he's linking the play ever so well. Gerrard comes in on that left-hand side, and once they get it out to Lennon, you think there's going to be a goal every time.
Big player, Rooney. We always knew that. Just got to get him in the right role, you know, get sufficient help for him. And he's certainly getting that from Heskey slightly further forward, and Gerrard cutting in from the left-hand side. Here's Gerrard again, intercepting a pass to the right for Croatia and heading it away from Cerna out for a throw-in. 16 minutes to go to half-time here at Wembley. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC. Eduardo shoots from long range, but may as well not have bothered. It's well wide of goal, and it's a goal kick to England. Reminding you, Slovakia lead 1-0 away to Northern Ireland at Windsor Park in Belfast. And at half-time at Hampden, it was Scotland 0, Netherlands 0. Wales trailed to Russia 1-0. And I don't think Green's had a save to make. Hardly even had a pass back.
No, just had that one effort. He swiveled on it, hit it over the bar, wasn't he, the lad? And that's it.
Green with the goal kick. Driven towards Heskey. Heskey rises well and heads it on. Rooney chases after it. Cerna's there. And Cerna with the pass back to the goalkeeper. And Rooney checks inside of Rooney, just showing he can play a bit as well. And some jeers from the crowd. I thought that was quite clever. And now it's flicked in by Cerna to Simunic, who was badly at fault for the penalty. It was just a ridiculous challenge for such an experienced defender. But we'll take it, thank you very much, as we took the penalty with less cause on Saturday against Slovenia. Simunic over the halfway line. Good flick pass to the left-hand side. Pranjic. We thought playing it left back, actually playing left midfield, onto his right foot, crosses deep, lots of blue shirts in attacking positions here for Croatia. It comes to the right touchline, to Cerna. Cerna steps inside of Rooney. Cerna flicks it back to Cranshaw. Cranshaw away to the far side, and Pranjic again. Eduardo's ahead of him, and the pass to Eduardo was telegraphed. Johnson intercepted, and Johnson runs away. Not bad defending there for the fullback, and then he drives it in the direction of Heskey. It's intercepted by Simunic, and Simunic, hustled by Emil Heskey, puts the ball out of play. Well played, Heskey.
Well, that just sums up England in the first 30, just over 30 minutes now, isn't it? The tempo they've played at, and I tell you what, there's not many teams could live with England tonight in that first 30 minutes.
It's funny, I had a call to the phone in the other night. Chris, he said, but think of all that hot weather next summer in South Africa and how difficult that's going to be for England. I had to remind the guy it's going to be winter in South Africa. They'll be lucky to get temperatures like this. It'll suit England next summer, and England are certainly going to South Africa at the moment, leading by 2-0 tonight. A point will do after the draw earlier for Ukraine. Here's Gerrard coming forward. Gerrard running into a little bit of trouble, but kept his nerve. Flicks the ball to the right to Johnson. Johnson crosses, hits the defender, rebounds to Johnson, then he's tackled, and it's taken away. It's up with Pranjic onto Eduardo. Eduardo with an Olic to his left. Eduardo running in towards a white shirt, and it's flicked away by Upson. And here's Johnson taking the ball for England. He played the ball, not the man. Referee was right. And it's half-time at Windsor Park. Darren Fletcher.
And the Northern Ireland players, Alan, are trooping off with their heads bowed. Half-time, Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 1. The only goal scored by Stanislav Sestak after 15 minutes. Mazy run by Weiss, and a tap-in from no more than a yard. 2 Northern Ireland chances, 2 long-range efforts from David Healy. They haven't played particularly well. Martin Skirtle has been excellent defensively for Slovakia, and Northern Ireland will have to raise their game in the second half. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 1.
And it's Wales 0, Russia 1 at half-time. And just reflecting back on Group 3's position, Slovenia, who of course lost here to England in the friendly on Saturday, they're 1-0 up against Poland tonight, and if Northern Ireland lose and Slovenia win, Slovenia will go ahead of Northern Ireland into second place behind Slovakia, and Northern Ireland would only have one game left. That's away to the Czech Republic in Prague. We've got 12 and a bit minutes to go in the first half at Wembley. England lead 2-0. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC. Heskey heads on a Terry free kick, but it goes through to the goalkeeper, and it's Italy 2, Bulgaria 0, which is of course not great news for the Republic of Ireland. The Republic of Ireland played a friendly last night against South Africa, and next summer's hosts, and beat them by a goal to 0 with a sort of shadow squad picked by Trapattoni. Barry flicks it forward towards Rooney, cleared by the defender. Barry on towards Gerrard again. Gerrard's playing well, finding Lampard, and well, something caught Gerrard in the back there. Anyway, it's with Pranjic on the far side of the field, and the referee spotted something.
Oh, Lampard.
I think a foul by Lampard.
Yeah, I don't think it was a foul. It was he went for the ball. Yeah, maybe it's a foul, but just a quick word. He's got it right, the referee there.
Bilic has his tie loose, and he cuts a frustrated figure in the technical area now, and he wants his Spurs further forward. They've got to score 3 goals for England to suffer here tonight. Well, they did score 3 goals in the last visit, but looks a completely different scenario now. England far better, Croatia not as good. Here's Ashley Cole. Cole into Gerrard, still inside the England half. Down the left side. Cole in towards Heskey. Heskey a little unfortunately slipped there, and it runs to Croatia, and then it's given away by Cranshaw. Gerrard back to Terry, and on to Barry, and Terry again. And the England fans sense that The team is in total control of this game. That's a great ball by Barry to the left side, but Ashley Cole didn't control it initially. He still might get to the ball. Cerner, the pass back to the goalkeeper. Heskey's going to rush forward to put pressure on the keeper, and that hustled the goalkeeper. Not the most convincing of clearances, and England have it back on the far side of the field. It's Lennon running in field, running 2 goals over. Lennon into the penalty area. Lennon tries to chip the goalkeeper, palmed away by the Kuparunya, and that was almost number 3 for England. And when I said Lennon 2 goals, what I mean was a hand in both goals.
Tell you what, that was a great hustling. Heskey chasing the goalie down. They picked the second up, and what a pass by Wayne Rooney to set Lennon free. Tried the right thing, just to lift it over the diving keeper. Didn't connect right with it.
Here's Rooney, back towards the halfway line, Rooney. And now he flicks it through the centre circle to Terry. And on to Johnson on the far side. I sense another goal's coming for England. Johnson, down the right flank, on to Heskey, he's offside. And Slovenia 2, Poland 0. Not good news for Northern Ireland. The French have equalised through Thierry Henry. Serbia 1, France 1. The great cheer, of course, was for the man who loves to run up and down the touchline, David Beckham. No need for any changes here. England 2, Croatia 0. Inside the final 10 minutes of the first half. Terry steps forward of Eduardo. And then, just misjudged the pass, which was, he thought was hit in the direction of Rooney. It was, but wildly overhit through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, if Rooney was as quick as Usain Bolt, he might have caught it, but there was no other way.
England 2, Croatia 0. Cerna into Pakovac, and I think they've switched. Pranjic has moved to left back, and Pakovac has moved into midfield now, with Cranshaw pushing towards the left side.
It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they do. They haven't got anybody who can hurt it. Eduardo, for me, is the only one who's looked bright. When he gets the ball at his feet, can spot a pass, can do something. He's the only player they've got.
Kristinic inside the centre circle, playing it to Cerna down the near flank, 20 yards over the halfway line, cutting infield, moving away from Gerrard, and then flicking a pass that was woeful. Straight out of play. Thanks very much. England throwing. Let's get an update from Hampden, early stage of the second half. Roddy.
And it's 51 minutes gone. The early stages of this game, exactly like the early stages of the first half, or the second half, I should have said. And that is, the Dutch wouldn't give Scotland the ball. Scotland eventually patiently waiting for a breakdown, and at last have got the ball into the Dutch half. But it's still scoreless here, Alan, between Scotland and the Netherlands.
Thank you very much indeed, Roddy. Wales trailing 1-0 at home to Russia. Wales' chances non-existent. Northern Ireland still have hopes, of course, but are losing 1-0 to Slovakia in Belfast, while Slovenia are 2-0 up against Poland in that group. Portugal, when last we heard, 1-up away to Hungary. They've got to play the Hungarians home and away, and they arguably need to win both matches. Doing well tonight, Cristiano Ronaldo and others. Free kick's been awarded to Croatia. And the one thing England don't want, Chris, before half-time, that was a foul by Barry, by the way. The one thing England don't want is to concede a goal and give Croatia any hope whatsoever.
Well, you've got to say up to now, coming up to 38 minutes, I think England dominated the game. They've been excellent. The movement's good. The work rate's been absolutely fantastic.
And it does, I know it's a sort of afterthought, side thought, it does make you wonder why they bother with friendlies, you know, because there's nothing like this on Saturday, and I understand why. From the players' point of view, concentration, application can't be the same. Now they're applied and concentrated, and that's why they lead Croatia by 2-0. Johnson on the far side of the field, England right, still inside his own half. Back to the captain, Terry Upson, makes himself available, but the pass back goes to Green, trying to keep Green busy.
It's good. Keep the ball, eh? You're 2-0 up. Why should you go looking for a third if the opportunity comes? Yeah, just, hey, make Croatia come up to half-time. 2-0 up. Keep the ball. Don't force it.
7 minutes to half-time. Here's Cole from Lampard's pass. Gerrard makes a good break forward. Rooney finds him. It's Gerrard left of the penalty. Heskey runs to the near post. It's played back towards Rooney and intercepted by Croatia, and had it found Wayne Rooney, there was a chance there of a third goal.
Well, it was an excellent dummy by Rooney, wasn't it? It was no filling in for Gerrard, look. And Gerrard, for me, I just thought it was 3 white shirts arriving in the box, put it in the danger area, because they can't defend tonight, Croatia.
But I love that movement between Gerrard and Rooney and Heskey. There was once that Gerrard found himself alongside Rooney, and Heskey pulled wide on the left. terrific. That's the sort of interchange that we want to see.
It's what I won about before the game. I think, over the years I've always been putting zones in, you work in that zone. Now they're actually letting people off the leash now, and it's beneficial to the team.
Provided if one goes, somebody covers.
Yeah. How many players do you want to defend?
I know. Here's Johnson on the far side to Lennon. Lennon's had a really bright first half, involved in both of the goals. He was brought down for the penalty, and then it was his cross headed in by Gerrard for the second. Gareth Barry, still disciplined, still the holding player in the England midfield, finding Ashley Cole. Cole back to Upson, and Upson on to Terry, and there's just no pressure on the England players at the moment. This is what we want to see. Johnson back to Lampard. Lampard swirls the pass forward down the right flank. Lennon chases after it. Simunic heads it away. Pranjic is there. Back to Simunic again, and Simunic clears to the halfway line, where it's met by Frank Lampard. And Lampard, in it goes to Heskey. Heskey had obviously come back from an offside position, but the flag is up, and it's a free kick to Croatia.
Just over 40 minutes gone, and I've got to say the front four for England, they certainly have dominated this game. They're putting them under so much pressure, that back four of Croatia. And Barry and Lampard just backing up. It's been very easy for the back four of England tonight. They've never been under any pressure. They've had to deal with long balls from the back, which Croatia are not used to playing, and the game plan's been spot on.
Simunic with a pass back to the goalkeeper, and again Heskey just hustles Runia, hustled into the clearance, hit over the halfway line, met by Johnson to Ashley Cole, and Cole back to Robert Green. Olic comes forward, but Green clears early. Rooney was immediately looking to where Heskey was, but he couldn't head the ball, Wayne Rooney, and it's back in the England half with Johnson. Johnson hits it very high towards the inside left channel. Cerna heads it away, and then it's headed down by Croatia, only to Gareth Barry. Barry, good ball forward to Gerrard. I think actually the pass was intended for Rooney. Gerrard wanted it, and Gerrard keeps it off. Two harsh challenges on it. It's played back. He's a word with one of the Croatians, Steven Gerrard. It's back with Robert Green. Green from the edge of his penalty area. Hits it towards Heskey. Simunic heads it clear. Lampard brings it under excellent control. Back to Barry in the centre circle. Barry now to Upson. Upson just takes his time. Olic, I think, may have caught Matthew Upson there. He apologised for it.
He doesn't need to play that ball, Alan. Why does he just go back to Robert Green? It's 2-0. It's 42 minutes coming on. Why does he need to force a ball to Wayne Rooney?
Here's Lampard to Lennon. Lennon with a little bit of room. Heskey's ahead of him. Onside. Heskey shoots. Blocked by the legs of the keeper, Runya. Good save, but Heskey really should have scored.
Oh, the football again. Aaron Lennon coming off the line this time. Similar to what Gerrard does on the left-hand side. Lovely weighted ball. And you've got to say, Heskey, the one problem you've got with Heskey is he doesn't take his chances when he gets them as much. He was onside. He just went for power. Maybe he should have placed it.
From the throw-in, Johnson back to Barry. And now Terry to Upson, on to Rooney. And look at the fluidity of the England players. It's really great to see. Cole, back to Gerrard. And now Upson, into Barry. Lampard shows, but he's ignored. It's flicked behind Frank Lampard to Glenn Johnson on the far side. Lennon wants it, but I don't think he's getting it. It's in towards Heskey. Heskey, great flick to Lampard. Lampard hits it over the crossbar.
Great kick, surely. It's got to be a yellow card as well. That was a terrible challenge from the England.
Simunic.
Yeah, well, he should bring the game back and give a free kick.
Good. Hold on a second. He's given the yellow card to Simunic, but presumably he let the advantage be played, which Lampard didn't take advantage of. He might have given the free kick too, you know. Anyway,
well, he should have brought it back for me.
I'm being greedy now, you know. And tonight's penalty was wholly justified, by the way. This was no a gift from a Mr. Eriksson of Sweden. Ridiculous penalty on Saturday, but a wholly legitimate one tonight. A foul by Simunic on Lennon. Lampard dispatched it, and then Gerrard headed the second in the 18th minute. We've got 90 seconds to go to half-time. England lead Croatia by 2-0. A draw will be enough. Rooney, no, Wayne. The goalkeeper wasn't even off his line. Rooney tried to shoot it goal from inside his own half.
That was a habit. But I've got to say there that I was going to give him 10 out of 10. I'm giving him 9 now. You give the first half. Well, that silly shot there.
Yeah, I'd give him -1 for that shot. Just for that shot.
Take one off.
Anyway, here's Simunic. Away to Pranjic on the far side of the field. Kranjcar's down the left. Pranjic cuts in field, being hustled by Lennon. two Diddy men there in the centre circle. Pranjic still being hustled into a mistake. Ball given straight to Gerrard. Gerrard now to Lampard. Lampard 25 yards out into Heskey. Heskey will score. Again, it's blocked by the goalkeeper. Heskey could have scored twice in 90 seconds and didn't take either chance.
Well, I've got to say, that's the one thing on me that lets Emil Heskey down, his confidence in front of goal. Gets stuck between his feet this time. But great pressure again. Aaron Lennon's run inside, 30 yards of the full-back. He's given a sloppy pass away. Gerrard's onto it, releasing Heskey. Get it out your feet. Have the confidence to pass it in the net. That's his problem. I think he thinks too much in front of goal. Does he go for power? Side-footed, place it. But it's great pressure by England again, and waits it all over the blue. And I just think it's a great way to pass in, isn't it? Look, he's just got it. He can't get out his feet.
Yeah, I think he's worked really well tonight. He's been terrific as the sort of spearhead up front with the likes of Rooney and Lennon and Lampard running around him. But, you know, you've got to take one of those two chances.
You'll get away with it, Alan, because England's 2-0 up.
But if it'd be 0-0...
If it'd be 0-0, everyone would be criticising, saying they need Defoe on, don't they? But, you know, so far, his work rate, his team plays fantastic. He's just got to have confidence in front of goal.
Sorry, Chris, we're in the stoppage time. 1 minute had been allocated, but, I mean, there was at least a minute's treatment given to the goalkeeper there, and that came in stoppage time, so I suspect we'll go into the second minute. Anyway, England 2, Croatia 0. This is 5 Live in the BBC. Scotland 0, Netherlands 0 at Hampden. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 1 at Windsor Park in Belfast, and Wales 0, Russia 1 in Cardiff. Green clears. We only had the minute of added time and a thoroughly satisfactory first 45 minutes for England.
Well, I thought England were outstanding. The work effort, the tempo they played out, some of the movement, especially the front four. Lampard and Barry's backed them up excellent. They've pressed the ball in. It's been easy for the back four because Croatia are playing long balls, which they're not used to playing. And basically England's won the battles all over the park. Just hope they can make that happen the second half again, because I think they will, Taya.
I think there'll be more goals actually for England. Half time, England 2, Croatia 0.
Thank you, Mark. And clearly Croatia had to do something, and they're going to do it immediately by bringing on two players who play in Germany. We're going to have Rakitic, who was surprisingly left out of the starting lineup, having scored the only goal at the weekend. He's coming on. And also Petric, who scored here at Wembley 2 years ago. Petric is coming on for Olic. We think that Rakitic is going to come on for Pokrivac. I think that's the deal here. But Chris Waddle, obviously, Bilic had to do something.
Well, he's got to go for goals, and if it means losing 4 or 5, then so be it. But it doesn't take a lot to improve on that first half performance from Croatia, does it? They were absolutely dreadful. But saying that, I've got to give England a lot of credit the way they played.
The only disappointing feature for England is that really this game should be well and truly now beyond Croatia. Heskey missed a couple of chances. Defoe, well, he might have accepted one of those, but that's hypothetical really. But Defoe we may see in the second half. England's lineup unchanged is as away we go. Green, the goalkeeper, Johnson, Terry, Hudson and Ashley Cole. Then the midfield of Lampard, Barry, Lennon, Rooney, Gerrard and Heskey. The crowd in very good voice here. England leading by 2 goals to 0 as I endeavour here to start the stopwatch. There we go, at last, finally. So I owe Greeny 30 seconds on that. Anyway, here we go. Here's the new Croatian lineup. It looks like this. Runia in goal, Cerna, Kricinac, Simunic and Pranjic, Bukajevic, Rakitic, Mandzukic, Eduardo Kranjčar and Petric. In this second half, England play sort of towards us really, in that they're playing from left to right. Robert Green wasn't really called upon to make a save as such in the first half. He clears towards Heskey. Heskey tumbles over under the challenge from Simunic, and the referee, has he given the free kick he has for the foul by Heskey on Simunic? Chris?
Well, very much the same. They're still playing 4-4-2. Croatia, but England started again, pressing the ball. Rooney's playing very high at the minute, chasing the goalkeeper down. Any back pass. They're just not letting Croatia settle on the ball.
Obviously, we'll keep you in touch with Scotland, 0-0 with Holland. Northern Ireland trailing 1-0, but looking better against Slovakia. Wales 1-1 against Russia. All the other meaningful scores too. Here, a very different scenario from 2 years ago. Croatia, who've been to the last 3 World Cups. Remember, they finished 3rd in the world in 1998. But England well and truly with their movement and their understanding in the first half and the fluidity. Everybody seemed to know what they were about. Well in charge. Rakitic for the first time against Glenn Johnson. Johnson denies him, also prevents the corner kick. But England mustn't allow Croatia any way back here at the start of the second half. Throw in taken. The ball is with Prandic, the left back. He's being followed by Lennon, and Lennon's doing well to help out Johnson. Lennon got a boot in there, got a block in, and Croatia have a throw. So they've got a new striking pairing now. Petric, who gets the ball for the first time. He's trying to turn John Terry, and he's won himself a corner.
That was poor play by Glenn Johnson here for me. He's got to turn around, and John Terry must have been screaming at him to say, get in front of this guy, don't let him get at the feet, which he's worked a corner out of. Bad defended.
Well, the tallest man on the pitch at the moment is probably Simic, and he goes forward to try and get on the end of the corner. Robert Green manages to fist it out of the penalty area, and he got good distance in the clearance, and Croatia have a throw-in over on the far side as the crowd take their seats for the second half in front of us. England leading by 2-0 here. First half goals, a penalty from Lampard. The second was a header from Steven Gerrard. All that inside the first 20 minutes. England getting their reward for a really confident start. Croatia have had more of the ball, though, at the start of the second half as they look for a way back. But remember, the only way England can now fail to qualify, really, is to concede 3 second-half goals and to suffer another 3-2 home defeat by Croatia. Surely that is impossible. But Fabio Capello would have kept them all on their toes during the break. He's prepared his team well for this one, though, tonight. Gerrard's header. Heskey reaches for it. It's that unselfish work once more by Heskey. Croatia win it, but then Barry's there, and Barry just hits a long ball back towards the Croatian goalkeeper.
Well, looking at England at the minute, they've dropped a little bit, haven't they? The front two, they're not squeezing the ball as much. Croatia start a little bit brighter, they're moving the ball quicker.
And it's Petric in possession. Petric down the centre for Eduardo. Eduardo stumbles but manages to get up and keep the ball. But Lennon's back again helping out the fullback Johnson. And there's no way through for Prandic. And that's going to be a goal kick for Robert Green. That's a feature already at the start of the second half. Lennon coming back to help out Glenn Johnson. And we're getting a picture now here of Sven-Göran Eriksson, who, of course, took England to the World Cups of 2002 and 2006, not to mention the Euro 2004 when England beat Croatia by 4-2. And Eriksson's here tonight watching on, and he'll be pleased at the moment with what is unfolding in front of him, because his former team England are leading by 2-0, and he will know that they've been very good value. But Chris Waddle was making the point throughout the first half that England gave so much in terms of energy in the first half. Will they be able to sustain it? They may need... That was a clumsy challenge coming in from Glenn Johnson, but the referee just gives the throw-in. They may need reinforcements from the bench. Perhaps Beckham, perhaps Milner, and perhaps at some point Jermaine Defoe. England at the moment seem to be quite content to allow Croatia the possession. They're not hurting England at the moment as they go forward, looking to release Cerna down the right-hand side. He's appealing for the corner kick, and the linesman's given it. He wants to take this one quickly. Cerna's quickly taken. Kick. And he was played in towards the near post. England almost caught there by Mandzukic, but he didn't get any control in the shot. That was intelligent play by Cerna, but nothing at the end of it.
It was excellent play by Cerna, wasn't it? Fantastic play.
Back to Roddy Forsyth at Hampden.
Has stunned Hampden, I have to tell you, because Elijah Ilya of Hamburg has taken advantage of a mistake by David Weir, and he's put the ball into the net after dancing around David Marshall, and with only 9 minutes left, I wonder, is that the end of the dream? Is that the end of George Burley as Scotland's manager? It's the Netherlands 0, Scotland 1.
Well, thank you, Roddy. I think it was Norway 2, Macedonia 0 in the other game, which would mean that Norway would, if everything stays the way it is, Macedonia got one back. In fact, it's Norway 2, Macedonia 1. But if Norway hold on there and Scotland lose to Holland, then Norway would get that second place. Scotland still hoping. Here, England haven't really seen much of the ball in the second half. Croatia have had most of it without doing anything with it. And we've played 6 minutes of the second half. But the onus is on Croatia. I mean, there's no, as Chris made the point in the first half, there's no real reason for England to go driving forward looking for more goals. They'll take what comes their way. They should have put the game beyond Croatia in the second half of that first half. Heskey just lacking a little bit of sharpness. Croatia build once more, and there's an offside now given against Eduardo, but it's a very different start to the second half from the beginning of the game.
It's just a little bit, a little concern for me. If Croatia had to nick a goal, Cerna was unlucky with that corner. It was a great idea, but they're getting a lot of possession, and England have dropped off and not put as much pressure on the ball. I just thought for the first 15 of the second half, do what you did first half and kill the game off.
But they must be playing under instruction, England, Chris, aren't they?
Maybe. I don't know. They look a little bit
Ball down into the Croatia half. A good leap by Heskey. Rooney's trying to pounce, but the defender was there. Croatia trying to counter-attack, but it's well snatched away by Lampard. And now Johnson, halfway inside the Croatia half. England 2, Croatia 0. Scotland now trailing at home to the Netherlands 1-0. Northern Ireland are trailing 1-0 at home to Slovakia. Wales 1, Russia 1. And here Croatia just looking for something to build on. And Petric does well. And Cerna now, having to defend in the first half, is driving down that right-hand side. It's a lovely ball across the field from Rakitic. There's great support at the moment coming in from Croatia. Jumping up and down. It looks like they'll be contesting second place with Ukraine. And now Gerrard's ball to Heskey. Heskey needs support. He finds it in Lennon. Lennon holds. Gerrard and Rooney wait. Heskey goes forward. Lennon goes round the fullback and then he's manhandled and pulled out. That really should be a yellow card for Pranjic, because he knew what he was about there. But it's no yellow card from the Spanish referee. But it is a free kick for England, and it will be Frank Lampard to take it. This so many times has been David Beckham's seen. The free kick wide on the right. Lampard will take it. He's just waiting for players to go forward. Swings in the kick. It's a comfortable header away, but it's not gone very far from Petric. And then a foul given over on the far side, and so England are denied what otherwise would have been a corner kick.
Well, I think Frank Lampard rushed that in. I don't think England players are ready to go and attack it. It's come in, and John Terry's just back his play for it. He's looking for the free kick.
There's a goal in Belfast. Darren Fletcher.
A second goal for Slovakia. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 2. Holosko, who's just come off the bench, has scored with his first touch, latching onto sloppy defending from the Northern Ireland captain Aaron Hughes, smashing the ball into the bottom corner beyond Mike Taylor. And Northern Ireland now have an awfully steep mountain to climb. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 2.
Well, at the moment it's bleak for Northern Ireland and Scotland. It's going well here for England. They're still in control, even though they haven't started the second half with too much fire, but they have the 2 goals already, and the onus is on Croatia to try and do something about it. So Scotland trail 1-0, Northern Ireland 2-0 down. Here England lead Croatia by 2-0, and Slovenia 3, Poland 0 now in the Northern Ireland group, and here, and Germany 3, Azerbaijan 0, as you would pretty much expect. But England are sort of killing the game here, really. They're holding on to what they've got. There's a long ball downfield, and Heskey against Simovic, and the flag goes up, and that's gone Croatia's way once more.
Well, it's not the same as the first half. England have definitely come off the gas, but, you know, as I said before, it's up to Croatia to take the game, to try and get the goal and get themselves back in the game. So far, England not as good as the first half, but very, very comfortable.
Renier, the goalkeeper, clears. He kept Croatia alive, really, in the first half with some very important saves. It could have been 4 or 5-0 otherwise, and now Ashley Cole struggling down the right-hand side. The ball is dinked in, and was almost a free header there. Glenn Johnson got in. Slaven Bilic is appealing to the fourth official for a foul against Glenn Johnson on Eduardo, but nothing given by the referee. Bilic turns, he's furious, but there, if England needed it really, was a real wake-up call again for them.
Well, that was good play and a great ball in, wasn't it? And give Glenn Johnson credit. Everybody seems to criticise a lot, but that was great defending. They were looking for a penalty. For me, it was a good challenge, a brave challenge at the far post. Very good.
Well, already in the second half, there's much more threat from Cerna over on the right-hand side. England not giving him too much to defend. And now Lennon to Johnson. Johnson into Heskey. Heskey's little flick doesn't work for Lennon. And Simovic, who always seems to take a very long time to control things, shadowed all the way by Lennon. And then the ball is out of play. It's a throw-in to England. Simovic has had better days in the past. They're catching up with him now, the years. He's a little bit slow on the turn, and he was the man who brought down Lennon in the first half for the penalty. England following the throw. Lampard to Barry. England just needs some moments of possession here. Cole, Ashley Cole. That's loose, but the free kick's been given for the foul which came in on him. England have a free kick just inside the Croatia half, and we've seen very little in the second half so far of Rooney and Gerrard, but now Gerrard's... they want the free kick taken again. Gerrard and Rooney, who were linking up magnificently in the first half, but not a lot of threat from them so far in this second.
No, I think they've been caught in possession. They're playing a little bit too slow. Not as many options as there was first half. Everybody was looking for the ball. At the moment, you know, like Ashley Cole, caught in possession there. He's lucky he got a free kick out of it. Not enough movement in the away shirts of England.
First time we see Stuart Pearce, the under-21 coach, coming out to try and scream an instruction to the field. England now take the kick again, and it's turned back into the England half, and it's with Matthew Upson. Upson's high ball, lumped forward. Lennon will get in ahead of the fullback. He heads it neatly sideways. Heskey's there before Simovic. Again, Simovic a little bit slow to react. Heskey's pass wasn't really good enough to Lennon. The invitation was there for Pranjic to clear. Jermaine Defoe's coming on for England. So Defoe to come on for England with 11 minutes gone, 12 minutes gone in the second half. Defoe presumably coming on to replace Heskey. This could be his last action. The ball is bouncing around in the area. Croatia clear it. The next time the ball goes out of play, then we'll have Defoe on. Here's Ian Brown in Cardiff.
Russia back in front, Wales 1, Russia 2. A free kick inches outside the penalty area, drilled into the far corner by the defender Sergei Ignatievic. So it's Wales 1, Russia 2 into the final 18 minutes.
Thank you, Ian. So Jermaine Defoe in such magnificent form at the moment for club and country, coming on. Another long ball teasing the England defenders. England having to be alive at the back at the moment. Just not controlling the midfield. England lose it once more. Dangerous moments here for England as Petrick strides forward, but it's a great challenge from Johnson. Johnson, the finger pointing at him at the weekend, is doing some really good defending here at the moment as Lampard sweetly turns and finds Gerrard. And this is better from England now on the counter-attack as Lennon now gets motoring down the right-hand side, comes inside of Kranjčar, goes around Rakitic, is brought to the ground by Rakitic. Referees played a good advantage. Glenn Johnson now is inside the penalty area, going the long way around, turns it back, header in! What a great goal from Lampard! What a magnificent goal by Lampard, but what terrific work again down the right-hand side from Glenn Johnson, and not surprisingly, they're going to congratulate him as well. That's Lampard's second goal of the game. It's England 3, Croatia 0, and that surely now has to be too much for Croatia.
Well, that's game over, isn't it? And what a great ball by Glenn Johnson. A few step overs. Said this boy can play on the right side of midfield. He's another option for them going forward. Everything was about him. Great delivery, and give Lampard credit for the header. He directed it away from the goalkeeper into the far corner, and it was a great goal by England. Johnson, terrific cross to dig it out. Lampard, 7 yards out, good header. 3-0, game over.
Well, Johnson had gone quite wide, and you wondered whether the opportunity had gone. As Heskey comes off and gets a handshake from Fabio Capello, Defoe comes on. England 3, Croatia 0. Here's Roddy Forsyth again.
And it's into injury time here at Hampden. We've got 3 minutes of injury time, less than that now, and that may be all that remains of Scotland's World Cup campaign, because as matters stand, Norway would go through, or at least would be in second place on goal difference. The Scots trailing the Netherlands by 1-0, and we are in the final 3 minutes.
Thank you, Roddy. England absolutely back in control now after a quiet start to the second half. They've reasserted themselves once more. Again, the danger came down the right-hand side. I mean, this time it was Glenn Johnson. But even before Johnson made that goal, he'd done a couple of really important things defensively as well. So that'll do his confidence a lot of good as Rooney now wastes that one. And we'll go back again to Darren Fletcher in Belfast.
17 minutes to go. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 2. But Nigel Worthington's side have hit the bar. Niall McGinn just off the bench. The Celtic youngster with a curling cross-come shot that beat the goalkeeper Mucha and came back off the angle of post and bar. Northern Ireland is sticking to their task. They've got 17 minutes to find at least 2 goals.
I've got to say, Johnson's having a terrific second half. He came storming through again then. In the end, just lost out. None of the England players wanted to get involved in any talk of revenge here this evening, but this very definitely is turning out to be revenge. Don't forget, England won 4-1 in Zagreb with the Walcott hat-trick, and now they're leading by 3-0 here tonight, so that's 7-1 on aggregate against a Croatian team which lost on penalties in the end dramatically in Euro 2008 to Turkey when they thought they'd done enough to go through to the semi-final. Croatia down that right-hand side, but they can't get through. Gerrard's blocking them off, and Barry clears. Defoe looking for his first touch, and now he's got it. Rooney's trying to stay on side, but England have to settle for a throw-in over on the far side.
Well, I think it's interesting now to see how Defoe links up with Rooney. Rooney seems to have playing a little bit more higher than Defoe. You know, he normally drops into the midfield, doesn't he, Rooney? But he's playing very high at the moment.
Well, the crowd are celebrating. You couldn't have 2 more different evenings, could you? From the one we experienced here in November 2 years ago in the rain against this country, Croatia, and tonight England now having a little bit of a party here. They can really turn it on. They lead 3-0. Let's find news of England's cricketers now from Pat Murphy.
Australia 154 for 2. They need 75 to win off 69 balls. More importantly, they've got stack of wickets in hand. We've got a century stand here between Clark, who's on 41, and White on 70. England need wickets very quickly, Mike.
Thank you, Pat. England's football team have never qualified this early for a tournament, certainly in my lifetime, and they're going to do it with 2 to spare. They still have Belarus to come here. They've also got a trip which is still an important game in that it's Ukraine against England, and Ukraine are very much battling for second place with Croatia. Back to Hampden Park and Roddy Forsyth.
It's all over, I'm sorry to tell you. Scotland 0, the Netherlands 1. Klaus Larsen has just blown time on what was a tremendously heroic effort by the Scots. But Elia's goal, close to the end there, 9 minutes from time, has signalled the end of the Scots qualifying campaign. They've been leapfrogged by the Norwegians, and it signals the end, I'm sure, of George Burley's career as national manager. Scotland 0, the Netherlands 1.
Thank you, Roddy. And I guess really what did for Scotland in the end was losing that game to Norway. And all the hope over the weekend with the victory against Macedonia, crushed tonight by Holland, who, like England, have a 100% record in qualifying. Holland had already booked their place in South Africa. England are booking theirs here this evening. The draw, remember, in the first week of December in Cape Town. It's Gerrard. Oh, great ball from Gerrard onto Rooney. 3-0 to England. Back again to Gerrard. Gerrard looking to lift it forward for Defoe. And, well, Croatia, who came out with great spirit in the second half, but now stung by that third goal. And it's Johnson again with the outside of his foot, very precisely to Lennon. His instinct is to charge forward straight away and take defenders with him. But there are 3 Croatian players around him. Rakitic has got it, and Rakitic plays a dangerous ball to Kranjčar on the edge of the area. This one needs clearing, and eventually it is by Pranjic into midfield. Little touch towards Petric. John Terry was light years ahead of Petric. And it's back again with Robert Green. We played 19 minutes. Norway 2, Macedonia 1 is the final score. Just to confirm that Norway have tipped Scotland for second place behind Holland in that group. So Scotland failed to qualify for the World Cup. And well, that will be a developing story, I'm sure, over the next couple of days for Roddy up there in Glasgow. Here we've got a free kick to Croatia. Chris Waddle.
Well, I just think Croatia, since that third goal went in, they just basically want to get off the pitch. They don't look as interested. They come out with a bit of a spring in the step second half, but since that third goal, it's just England now. England could actually get quite a few more goals if they want to.
And the goals have come from midfield again tonight. We've had 2 headers and a penalty. The headers from Gerrard and Lampard, the penalty. I'm telling you, at the moment, Len Johnson's pretty close to being England's best player.
I think
as he wins another header.
I think overall, first half you could take Rooney, Gerrard and Lennon, but overall so far I'd say Glenn Johnson has been the best player.
And that is actually a real tribute to him, a great show of character to come out in this big game tonight with all the question marks. He's really performed well in both halves, and England tidy up once more. You suspect now that Croatia are going to dip now, having come out and given it everything they could in the first 15 minutes. We played 20 minutes of the second half. Remember, Northern Ireland are trailing 2-0 at home to Slovakia. Wales are trailing 2-1 at home to Russia. And Scotland have been beaten by Holland, and they are out of the World Cup. Remember, Scotland's group has now finished. This one still has matches to go in October. And then, of course, after that, the playoffs, but Scotland will not be involved in the playoffs. Northern Ireland still hope to be, but they're making life very, very difficult for themselves. Republic of Ireland in with a chance, though, still. Now, England with Ashley Cole. This is 5 Live. Long ball forward, looking for Cole. Gerrard appeals for handball. Referee signals to the chest. Rooney's trying to win it back again for England. Lennon applies the pressure. It's in the Croatia penalty area. Pranjic almost missed his kick. Great pressure coming in all the time here from Lennon. He's denying Pranjic any time to clear. Eventually, hurriedly clears. Barry stabs it back. Lampard's header down. Gerrard looking strong in midfield. They're not picking up the balls here at all, Croatia, as Gerrard looks for Rooney. Angle awkward. Rooney tries to lift it in. High ball. Gerrard's header. 4-0 to England. 2 Gerrard headers. A Lampard header. A Lampard penalty. England 4. Croatia 0. Gerrard celebrates a place at the World Cup finals in South Africa.
It just shows you what the game plan was tonight, was pressing the ball. Give Aaron Lennon credit down here. He didn't give up on it. The left back got himself in a bad position, and then it was all about the second ball. Give Gareth Barry credit, intercepting it to Gerrard, gives it to Rooney again, doesn't nail the pass when he's played it into Rooney. A lovely ball to Rooney, and then he's away in the box. It's definitely onside, and Rooney just floats it to the far post. And I tell you what, that is a terrific header by Steven Gerrard to head it over the goalkeeper.
And we've got a bit of a theme here now this evening, Chris, because all the goals have really come from down that right-hand side. Lennon brought down for the penalty. The cross coming in from Lennon for Gerrard's header. The cross coming in from the right from Johnson for Lampard's header. And now Rooney's ball in for Steven Gerrard's header. So 4-1 in Zagreb, 4-0 here, and we still have time to go. Shots now of great former England captains celebrating in the stadium. Brian Robson and Alan Shearer are here. England 4, Croatia 0. It's a great celebration now here. And still Fabio Capello stands in the technical area, not allowing himself any complacency of a seat alongside Stuart Pearce, still overseeing the proceedings as Defoe tries to get in on the act now. Lennon sends it square to Johnson. Johnson teasing the Croatian defenders once more. Still Johnson looking for someone to run into the area maybe. In the end it's a throw-in, and it's a great scoreline for England. And here's Alan Green.
He left me any goals. He's always moaning, this guy, about me stealing all his goals, you know. 4 goals, 2 for Lampard, 2 for Gerrard, all described immaculately by Mike Ingham. So England will be in South Africa. Scotland won't be, having lost at home to the Netherlands, and they're actually succeeded into second place by Norway, and Northern Ireland trailing at home to Slovakia. England on the attack here. Lennon inside the penalty, and then he pulled it. Simulic, who made the interception, and it's a free kick. Imagine a little fella like Lennon pulling down a big fella like Simulic.
Little and odd. I tell you what, there's more goals for England as well. Well,
I hope so, or else I may as well go home.
Croatia is, for me, they've completely gone now. I think the third goal killed them off, but now you can just see the body language of them. They want to get off the pitch.
And as Mike was saying, look at the aggregate scoreline over the 2 games. 8-1. 8-1. England lost both games to Croatia in the European Championship qualifying campaign. And never looked likely to be behind tonight, I thought. They just started right, started brightly. The tempo was right, the movement was right. Rooney, Gerrard, Heskey, Lennon, terrific. Lampard in support. Lampard pops up with 2 goals. Great. Croatia with a corner, driven deep, too deep for Petric, and headed away by Barry. It's going out of play for a throw-in. And they don't even want to bother to take that, Croatia.
No, they're going to take the time. There's no rush. I just wonder who we bring on next, Capello, and save somebody's legs for the weekend. I think, but you've got to say it's been a terrific performance by England.
I'd be inclined to leave the players out there to enjoy the victory, but we'll see. But he might well make 1 or 2 more changes. One already, Heskey, who he made sure he congratulated when the big fella came off the pitch, Capello. Heskey replaced by Defoe. Here's Cranshaw. Cranshaw shoots from long range. And is that the first save that Robert Green's had to make tonight? I really think it is, you know.
He had a corner which was decent delivery, punched away, didn't he? But
the first save, 20 minutes to go. I mean, they can still pass the ball, Croatia, but they just haven't carried any threat. Graham Kelly, you enjoying this as much as we are?
Yeah, certainly, Alan. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't complain at all with this performance at all. What I'd said before about Bilic talking about lacking Englishness, I mean, the thing is that you see what we are seeing from this side. We're seeing the Englishness in it, describing the goals, the crosses, the headers, but actually the pressing of people, the pressing of the opposition. It's an English trait as well. And I think that England have done extremely well today and thoroughly deserve. There's more goals for them if they go looking for them.
England 4, Croatia 0 here on 5 Live. Defoe, back to Lampard, edge of the centre circle, to Upson. Upson plays it on towards Gerrard, but it was under hit that pass, and it's intercepted, taken away on the far side of the field by Cerna. I'm sure he didn't want to play it right back tonight, but Chorluka's suspension enforced that change for Slaven Bilic, who's got a very frustrated figure the whole evening. Here's Rakitic, scored against Belarus. Cross into the penalty, here's a chance for a goal. Great save by Robert Green. Still the pressure on. Another shot, another save by Green, and then it's followed up, and Eduardo has scored for Croatia.
Well, I've got to say, Alan, Glenn Johnson's been outstanding, but when he gets down the side of that box and is one-on-one, for me, he doesn't dictate to the winger. The winger dictates to him, and at this level, unfortunately, you can't do that. He's got to push that guy into an area. Anybody with a little bit of a trick, unfortunately for Glenn Johnson, he buys it very easily. It's a great cross in, great save by Robert Green. He wasn't offside, he's just laid it back, and it's a good finish by Eduardo. He's sniffed around Robert Green as he's parried it, but Glenn Johnson again, one-on-one, he does find it hard, I think.
You could sense the exasperation, even looking from behind, at Fabio Capello. And there's a Croatian supporter on the pitch, silly boy, and he embraces Eduardo, and really that's, well, I don't know, just silly. Maybe it's the stick that Eduardo's had to take tonight, and Eduardo scored, but now he's been engulfed by a number of stewards, and the bare-chested Croatian will not see any more of this game.
I don't think the Croatian players are happy the way his fans are being treated. Look, they're all flooding in. Look, they're having to go at the security guard now.
Well, what did they expect? He shouldn't be on the pitch. He shouldn't be on the pitch. Just take him off. Klasnic is going to come on. Another striking substitution by Slaven Bilic. It won't make much change now. England 4, Croatia 1. Klasnic, ironically, is going to replace Eduardo.
That's a strange one. I think Eduardo's been their best player.
He doesn't know it yet. He only looks around now and sees the number 9 being held up, but Klasnic is on. Pat Murphy? Sorry, I couldn't hear the instructions from the producer. Oh, I'm being reminded that my own programme follows this. 606 0500 909 693 is the number to call. Just can't hear the London studio tonight, can you?
606 lines are open. Pat Murphy.
I'm sure he'd love that, wouldn't he? Straight in the Rose Bowl, Pat. I know he's having to listen to this, but his mind's on the cricket. Anyway, great night for England. 8 successive qualifying victories. 8 out of 8. Ain't bad. What a difference 2 years makes. What a difference a new coach makes. Just no comparison between this England performance and the performance against Croatia 2 years ago. What Stuart Pearce has got his file out. I'd love to see that, what he's got on that. Shouting an instruction, and now he sits down again. I think they're cartoons, actually. I don't think it's game to do with football. Anyway, we're only fooled. England lead 4-1. Here's Terry. Just a shame, though, that yet again, England have conceded a goal.
It's a sloppy goal, isn't it? When the guy got one-on-one with Glenn Johnson, I did think, here we go again. I've got to say, when he gets down the side of that box, he just doesn't know where to send the guy, and he buys any little trick.
Just to confirm, 606 will be coming from Wembley with me tonight between 10 and 11. Lots to celebrate in terms of England. Not so for Northern Ireland, who have so much to do now to finish second in their group. And Scotland, who are out of the World Cup, having lost to the Netherlands, coupled with a victory by Norway, means they're not even finishing runners-up. So I think victories for Slovenia and Slovakia would have meant that Scotland wouldn't have qualified as one of the best runners-up anyway, even if they'd beat the Netherlands. It's very complicated, that scenario, choosing the best runners-up. Here's Cole on the far side of the field. Back to Barry. Croatians fans still bouncing up and down on the far side of the field. You've got to admire their optimism. Or maybe they're just trying to keep warm. Maybe they're used to hotter climate. It's a lovely evening here at Wembley and no rain. Nothing can dampen England's parade. Croatia on the attack on the far side of the field, but Cole had tracked back well. Plays it back to Robert Green. Unfortunate that Green, from the second save, ultimately conceded the goal. It was an excellent save the first time.
Yeah, I think he'd be a bit upset when he sees the replay. He could have done better on the second save, couldn't he? It was straight at him.
Here's Kranjčar. Kranjčar leaving it on the far side of the field. And Cerna. Back to Simunic. Simunic's rash challenge on Lennon set England going, really. How many minutes was that? Early on in the game. And England a goal up with a penalty. Now here's a shot driven in by Petric, straight at Robert Green, who makes the save very comfortably with both hands.
I just think England now should up the tempo a bit. I know they put a lot of effort in, maybe they can't. They look a bit tired. Look, there's a walking out. Look, the midfield on, jogging up, they're walking. Maybe if he brings a couple of one on just to freshen up a bit, because I think I don't know, I can't see conceding it or losing the game, but they do look very tired at the moment.
Right, let's bring in Pat Murphy now, the Rose Bowl. Hi, Pat.
Alan, 173 for 2 at Australia. Academic at the moment. 56 needed off 52 balls. Cameron White 86 and Clark the captain 44. They really just need to knock it around, then it'll be as big a formality as you're witnessing at Wembley.
Thank you very much, Pat. Yes, it is a formality here, and it was ever since England went in front, actually. But it's England 4, Croatia 1 now. We've got 14 minutes to go. Spain 1, Estonia 0. Fabregas has scored for the European champions. They will be a huge threat next summer without question. I think Spain, Brazil, at the moment they're the two favourites, but England would what a mistake by the goalkeeper. Here's Rooney. Rooney scores number 5. Shocking error by the goalkeeper Rooney. His clearance ran straight to Wayne Rooney, and Rooney scores his 25th goal for England. I can't think of anyone softer than that. England 5, Croatia 1.
Well, he could have scored a hat-trick on Saturday against Slovenia, but what was the goalkeeper doing there? It's a terrible miskick. Give Rooney credit. He's always on his toes. He's always alert. Ball's come, 12, 13 yards out, and he's just nice, crisp side foot into the back of the net. Open goal. And he's deserved it, Wayne Rooney.
Well, it was Scott Carson Howler 2 years ago. Anyway, that was a shocking mistake by Rooney. A goal in Cardiff, Ian Bryan.
Yeah, Russia have won it now. It's Wales 1, Russia 3. Roman Pavlyuchenko of Tottenham off the bench to score with a cross shot in stoppage time at the end of the game. We're still playing. It's Wales 1, Russia 3.
Well, the crowd will get its wish. David Beckham will come on to win his 114th cap for England. A big smile on the face of Fabio Capello. He knows it will be a popular decision. And nothing in this case against David Beckham, but I would have thought Aaron Lennon could have stayed on.
Well,
if it is Lennon,
yeah, it will be Lennon. There's no doubt about that, isn't it? That he's killing the game off, slowing it down, isn't he? And you know what Beckham is going to get. He's going to keep possession.
Pranjic forward to Petric. Petric loses the ball. Little kick there by John Terry. Referee spotted that, handled it well, but it was petulance from the England captain, unnecessarily so. England lead 5-1. No need for that. Ball's with Pranjic, the left fullback. Started left midfield. Now back in his regular position. Finding Simic. James Milner's coming on. And David Beckham. Well, that could be Gerrard and Lennon coming off. You'd think so, actually. Leaving Lampard and Barry in their regular positions. Here's Rooney in the far side of the field. Scorer of the latest England goal. Couldn't have had many easier in his career for club or country. Upson, on to Gerrard, back to Upson, and now Terry to Lampard, and England fans enjoying this. I think you'll enjoy, if you don't live in Scotland, 606, which will follow this programme. 0500 909 693 is the number to call if you want to join in the hour of the phone in with me from Wembley. And just confirmation, there will be Lennon and Gerrard coming off. It's full time in Cardiff. Wales 1, Russia 3. England on the attack here. Ball played in low, and it Cole's cross hit the defender, and behind it goes for a corner. And here come the changes. Lennon, yes, Beckham for Lennon, and of course we already know from our spy on the bench. Actually, Fabio picks up his mobile and just rings us here. He tells us what changes he's going to make. And it'll be Gerrard being replaced by Milner. Great applause for Aaron Lennon. I think he's had a really good game. Totally justified his selection ahead of Wright Phillips.
Yeah, Lennon's had a very, very good game. He's just got to keep it together. He's had a terrific start to the season. He's just got to keep what he's doing for his club, and then obviously the next couple of England games.
Gerrard finally discovers that he's being replaced as well. Just 10 minutes to go. Gerrard 2 goals, Lampard 2 goals, Rooney with a 5th. Both Gerrard's goals, excellent headers.
Yeah, played very well. That left-hand side, tucking in, not playing wide, is he? Gets involved, Rooney balances off for him when he does get caught out of position. Works very, very well, them two.
And after those changes, England have a corner from the far side of the field. The England left, Lampard to take it. Terry and Upson, both inside the penalty area. Terry prefers to make his run to the near post. It's played beyond Terry toward the far post. Fumbled by the goalkeeper. Rooney just right of the penalty area. Crosses. Hits a defender. Barry jumps. Might find Beckham. Beckham to enormous applause. Finds a white-shirted colleague, and then the move breaks down. And here's Cranchar bringing it away. Running towards the centre circle. England 5, Croatia 1. Rakitic now popping up on the right side for Croatia. Cerna back to the central defender. And it's full time in Belfast. Darren Fletcher.
Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 2. Sestak and Holosko with a goal in each half. Northern Ireland had opportunities, but not too many good ones. McGinn hit the bar in the second half. Northern Ireland aren't eliminated tonight, but they'll have to win in the Czech Republic and get help from elsewhere to have any chance of a place at the playoffs. Slovakia march on. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 2.
That will be really difficult. We know that Wales and Scotland won't be there. The Republic of Ireland still have a chance. They think they might even top the group. Ahead, the world champions Italy. There's a huge game coming up at Croke Park next month. The Republic against Italy. But Wales won't be there, Russia won't be there. Northern Ireland's chances are very slim now. England will be in South Africa, courtesy of this win tonight. All they needed was a point, actually, after Ukraine drew away to Belarus earlier. But England never started as if they got that in their minds. I'm sure Capello would have kept the result from them. They came out here to win, and they're winning emphatically. Comfortable. Croatia have the ball, but they were a beaten side long ago. Petric, hustled by Barry, fairly hustled by Barry, and the ball is back with Cole. Played to the goalkeeper Green, and Green with a left-footed clearance up to the halfway line. Headed back by Simunic. And now Kranjčar. The Pranjic. Kranjčar again. What are the blues for? It's played away towards the far side of the field. There's a Mexican wave. Croatia on a half-hearted attack. And it goes to Kranjčar, about 25 yards from goal. A dipping shot, but over the crossbar and behind for a goal kick. I'll leave you to commentate on the meaningful Mexican wave, Chris.
No. I mean, Croatia, it's just amazing, isn't it? What, 2 years ago, different side, they've lost key players, though, I think, very much key players who were a big part when they played against England last time. And it's just showed England have really grown confidence. They've got a good manager, they've got a good organisation, they play at a good tempo, and they thoroughly deserve this. I think their performance tonight has been excellent.
It'll be fascinating, what happens over the next few months, because I have a feeling, Capello has one plan to get the team there, and another plan, what he does in South Africa. Now, that might well depend on the draw, but I just suspect, he's a thinking coach.
No, he's got what he does. He does look at the opposition, and he knows where the strengths are and how you play them. And tonight, you can see what he said. Obviously, we play when we get it, but we work at a high tempo. We unsettle them. They don't like it, and it's worked perfect tonight. When you're playing Spain, you may say the same game plan, but I think Spain's clever enough to play around you. So that may have to be plan B. Try that in the friendly, they lost 2-0. And I think you'd have to have a different plan if you played Spain next time.
That was a heavy challenge by John Terry. And I think that was after some earlier. And if this is a booking for Terry, it was idiotic. Absolutely idiotic. The score's 5-1. What's he doing going in like that?
Was it? Yeah, it was John Terry. Well, it's a waste of a yellow card, isn't it? Yeah, he's played the ball, actually, Look, it's a little bit after us, maybe, but I thought he played the ball.
I think he may have gone in with 2 feet. Anyway, no need for a challenge like that with less than 6 minutes to go. So they've got a free kick about 30 plus yards from goal. Cerna's right foot going to deliver it. No, he's just going to chip it into the penalty area, and it's Glenn Johnson who heads it away. Cerna heads it back. Lots of blue shirts in attacking position inside the England penalty area. That was a firm header away by Johnson again. Foot was raised high by Klasnic, and it's a free kick to England. Well, apart from that one slip at the Croatian goal, I think Johnson's played well.
Oh, he's been good, very, very good. As I say, it's just certain position. When you get him weighed on the touchline, he's not too bad. It's when you see him get between the 18-yard line and the touchline, that gap down the side of the box, he just doesn't know, for me, where his defenders are around him or where to send the guy. If the player's all left foot, then you send him back on his right. It just doesn't seem, whatever they do trick-wise, he seems to buy it very easily.
Free kick taken by Robert Green as the national anthem gets another rendition amongst very happy England supporters tonight. Wayne Rooney in the far side of the field, holding off a challenge and being a bit cheeky, through the legs of one player, finding Beckham on towards Defoe, intercepted by Krasanac, and now it's cleared now to Kranjčar. Beckham in with a challenge there, trying to win the ball back. Terry heads the ball forward for England, only to Pranjic to the left side, and Rakitic plays a weak pass down the flank, and Johnson just stabs it out of play for a throw. Ludden sitting feet stretched out. Now the nationwide man of the match Aaron
Well,
Lennon.
he has had a hand in the goals, and most of the stuff's coming out. Johnson's had a big part on the right-hand side with him, but Aaron Lennon has had a very good game.
Croatia have the ball on the far side of the field, but I think it's mostly because England show a bit of a lack of interest now. They know the game's won, and who can blame them? A fantastic effort by England tonight. Here's Rakitic getting past Johnson, but Beckham was back, just making a sort of partial bodily interception there, and England were able to clear the ball. Here's Simionic holding off Defoe. Simionic plays it to the right-hand side, and now it's over the halfway line with Petric to the far side, and Cerna in, and a mistake by Croatia, and Rooney picks it up to Beckham. Beckham spots Milner down the left side. Great ball by Beckham. Milner's after it, left of the penalty area. Milner knows that perhaps only Defoe's inside the penalty area, so he doesn't cross the ball. Plays it back instead to Barry, and now Beckham again. Beckham's not on the right, he's sort of got a free roll in the midfield. He plays it towards the right side. Rooney can't bring that under control. It's out of play for the throw.
Well, he hit a terrific ball to Milner there. He didn't need to want to Rooney, did he? Had Johnson square of him. Just keep possession, run the clock down now.
Just the crowd hearing what we knew a moment or so ago. Aaron Lennon is the man of the match. Franjic picks it upfield for a dispirited Croatia, trailing here at Wembley by 5-1. Less than 2 years ago, they won 3-2 here. And a terrible night for English football. Here's Terry, the England captain, to Johnson. Terry and Barry onto Rooney. Rooney's just over the halfway line, finding Beckham. Beckham chips it infield to Barry, and then Rooney to Upson. And England are just playing keep ball at the moment. Ashley Cole on the far side of the field. We've still got a minute and a half to go plus stoppage time. Rooney guides the ball to the right side. Beckham controls it. Beckham flicks it. Well, I don't know what that was meant to be, but Ashley Cole made it something of a pass. Chesting it down to Rooney. Here's Beckham again. Rooney. And to Johnson down the right side. Johnson now. He crossed immaculately for Lampard's header. Back to Beckham. Beckham chips it into the penalty area. Lampard slips. And Rakitic should be able to clear it to Franjic. Rakitic again. Franjic once more. What are they doing, Croatia? Finally, they clear the ball towards the halfway line, where it's met by John Terry. The match is over, of course. It was over some time ago. Frankly, I think it was over at half-time, Chris.
Oh, you've got to give England credit, right? They've set the stall out from the first minute. They've been excellent. Wayne Rooney, Gerrard, Lampard, Glenn Johnson and Lennon, absolutely excellent performances, and it's been a real terrific. Gareth Barry's done very well as well in midfield. They've just really dominated all individual battles. They've won, and it's been quite a comfortable night for England, hasn't it?
Defoe back to Rooney, onto Lampard. Lampard towards Milner. Milner tried to bring on the ball under control, and he almost hustled Simionic into an error, but he didn't. Finally, the goalkeeper clears it to the halfway line. Johnson heads it down to Lampard, and Rooney plays it to Cole. I think England is still half interested in adding to the goals tally here. They're 5-1 up here on 5 Live. The phone in to come, 606 0500 909 693 is the number to call. I'm thinking just north of the border, has Mr. Burley got problems as manager of Scotland? We've got 2 minutes of time being added on for stoppages. Rather pointless. Here's Upson to Rooney. I don't know which role Rooney's playing at the moment. He's centre midfield. Oh, just the ball forward. No offside flag. And Defoe didn't bring the ball under control. I think he thought he was offside.
Well, it was a great ball by Wayne Rooney. Just picked up in the centre circle, just on the halfway lane. Straight ball, straight down the middle. Bad defending by Croatia. Defoe was onside. Just couldn't control it. Come off his chest straight through the goalkeeper.
Well, clearly, if we had another Wayne Rooney up front, we could play this Wayne Rooney as a sort of playmaker in midfield. Some delicious passes from the Manchester United player. He is going to be a critical player for England next summer. He always is. Now, there's a high challenge there by Milner, showing he's still putting in the effort without question. It's a free kick to Croatia. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm not sure Milner caught the player at all. But the Croatian, not like any foreigner, of course. I'm not blaming foreigners. But that particular Croatian dived. Anyway, we're into the second minute of added time here on 5 Live. The celebrations, the proper celebrations, ready to begin. But I think you'll find that Fabio Capello will be slightly subdued. He will already be thinking ahead 9 months. He'll be thinking, right, I've got England there. Now what are we going to do there?
Maybe thinking of the Ukraine. very professional guy. He thinks each game as it comes, but
Beckham plays the ball forward, trying to find Rooney, easily headed away by Simunic. There was an incident there involving Defoe. I think it was an accidental collision with Vukojevic. Yeah, the players shook hands, so no harm done. And 15 seconds remain. And why is the referee bothering to play on? Glancing at his watch once more. It's with Franjic down the left side. Croatia can't be even bothered to move into the England half. Croatia just keeping the ball. The referee has his whistle to his lips. And cue the celebrations. England are in South Africa.
Well, you've got to say, it's probably the best performance of the group so far. For them, the performance-wise, I think they were excellent from the first minute. They knew what they had to do tonight. They didn't let them play Croatia from the off. They pressed them high up the field. They got the ball wide. The deliveries were good. And really, overall team performance with some great individuals. But you've got to say the team performed to its maximum tonight, I thought. Absolutely excellent. The way they set about themselves. And yes, South Africa, here you come.
Well, I was confident before the game, not this confident. Final score, England 5, Croatia 1.